A big mirror. So it's very, very crazy times, crazier than ever, more imbalance than ever. And one of the side effects, which you're aware of, but fortunately I don't think you're going to have much of a problem with it, one of the side effects is more and more people going out of their minds right now. Now, and I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to anyway. Those are the fun ones. There's an epidemic on this planet of people using anxiety and depression medications. And you could say perhaps it's appropriate because there's so many people going out of their minds. So many people breaking down, cracking up. But the funny thing is these medications really do not help in the long run. Take them temporarily, sure, you're going to feel a little better, but haven't you heard the ads on television and the radio saying, by the way, if your antidepressant medication doesn't work and you feel more suicidal than ever, try this on top of it. Like the second one is going to make you even less suicidal? I don't think so. What you're seeing is, first of all, we're moving outside of the mental era that's been around for a long, long time. This planet is moving outside of the mental. But there's so much intensity and pressure, and people don't understand what their thoughts are. In other words, where thought comes from. They don't understand the true feeling and true essence. So they're going out of their minds. And to add company to the misery, and this is one of the things that we're going to be working on or playing with, actually, is that hypnosis is prevalent on this planet. It's right up there with SES, the sexual energy virus. And it wasn't ever brought in a sinister way. It just kind of happened that the mind became very good at taking things in from the outside that didn't belong to it and owning it, but yet rejecting its own true feelings and what I would call true thoughts rather than the emotional self or limited self thoughts. So it's kind of an odd quirk in the human intelligence. That's kind of an oxymoron. The thinking that, so it takes in thoughts that don't belong to it. That's why some days you have a bad day, is because this. You can have a couple of good days, for instance, because you're in your energy, but then something pops you back out into everything out there, and you feel it because you're still tuned into it, you're still kind of dialed into it, and suddenly you do the crash. And then you blame it on yourself. What's wrong with me? Why am I having a bad day? Did I eat the wrong kind of food? Did I not do the right kind of allowing? Am I a bad person at heart? And, all these other things. No, it's just you're going through the intensity. That's where you take a deep breath and stop worrying about it. You stop worrying about it. You're just passing through. This is just a gig. You're just having a good time, right? Yeah. Good. Oof. Oof. So my dear friends, let's. So you have all these factors going on, and this hypnosis thing, very, very prevalent on the planet right now. Scary prevalent on the planet, not for you, but for others. In a way, you can't go back into your hypnotic lull, your hypnotic sleep. You cannot. So please do not be afraid that suddenly I'm going to be hypnotizing you and having you get up and walk around the room screaming like a chicken. But you have this hypnotic effect that's going around the planet, and it's doing kind of an interweave or a dance with the SES virus and a number of other things, and it's creating a lot of very strange and very bizarre patterns and events in the planet right now. You see on the evening news, if you watch the news or you hear it from your friends, it's like when they're talking about the mass murderer, he seemed like such a nice guy. I've been living next to him for 20 years and would have never have thought. He volunteered, or she, I'm sorry to pick on the men today, she, did all this social work and suddenly pulled out the Mossberg and blew away half the whatever. Probably an inappropriate time to laugh. Just saying, probably not the best time to laugh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty good, huh? Yeah. Good. Okay, so that leads me to a little drama interjection here. What happened to Flight 370? No, I'm asking you. No, you live here. I don't. I'm just passing through. What happened, Linda? Would you? I'd like to hear a couple theories. What happened? What happened to Flight 370? And just live. I mean, just say it. Just go ahead. Stand up, please.
It crashed.
Actually, that was good. Thank you. Not some intergalactic portal?
What? No. It didn't crash.
Oh, you two. If it didn't crash, where did it land?
UFOs.
In another dimension.
In another dimension, okay. Possible. Very possible. I'm sure there's some interdimensional activity surrounding it right now. Yeah, so is it just flying around in another dimension, like 24th dimension? Those poor flight attendants. There's no more food left to serve them, and the toilets are full. Well, what do they do? Good. Gross is right. Anybody who flies. Yes, David.
From Crash, about the crash. Yes, it did crash.
Yes, it did
at
crash.
The bottom of the ocean, further south
Yes.
than where they're looking.
Good.
And the best way to describe the issue, not pilot suicide, but let's just say the electronic guidance systems were hacked.
Good.
And there's a lot of money involved. Can't get into that right now, but this is via remote viewing, just for those who knows what that is. Technical remote viewing.
Good. Conspiracy, or should we say more deliberate? Deliberate. Is that what you're saying, Dave? Deliberate.
Yes.
Okay. Good. One more. From beyond. One more.
Oh, Carol's got one. Oh, then one after Carol. I saw another fun hand.
Okay, good.
UFO came and rescued him because they were having a hydraulic problem. And
The UFO was?
A UFO, Ashtar.
The UFO was having a hydraulic problem? Oh, good.
No.
I've never been on a UFO with hydraulics.
And took him to a planet outside.
Give them back.
They're having a better time there than they did here. Are here.
Oh, a better time. Okay, but still rude. Just to pick up a aircraft and take it away.
They were crashing.
Yeah. But I mean, they should have just gently eased them back down.
Last
Yes.
one.
Yes.
It went through an unexpected, crazy experience.
Master of the obvious. Yeah, I would venture to say you're right. And now, and I contend that there's so much hypnosis going on the planet, and so many people susceptible to it, that even the nice guy next door, even, let's just say a copilot of an aircraft, could have been implanted with hypnotic suggestion, for lack of better words, a while back, and didn't even know it, didn't even realize it, and suddenly gets the signal. Could be a pattern of phone calls, let's say, if somebody checked the phone records, pattern of phone calls that initiated an action that the being would have normally never ever taken otherwise. But suddenly he finds himself in a hypnotic trance, suddenly doing things that even he is not aware of, just like being a robot, changing, manipulating the flight path, depressurizing the entire cabin so everybody can't complain, if you know what I mean. And then taking off his mask after terminating his associate in the cabin, taking off his mask and just letting it go. Why? Why would somebody do that? Why? Why would they implant a virus in your computer? Why would they destroy your hard drive? Because they can, even if they don't make 10 cents off of it. A very, very strange energy. Why? Because they wanted to see if it would work. And it did. And it did. And it's not the only one. If you go back actually and read, particularly in the last, let's say 3 or 4 years of mass murders or crazy acts by people, and the police are going back trying to find what happened. What happened? And the psychiatrist and psychologist get involved and comes up with all their inane theories about it. But what happens is there is this hypnosis. Something I will tell you again, you do not need to worry about either being the one who carries out a crazy act or is a victim of a crazy act like that. You're out of that energy. But it's going to happen more and more on this planet. It's like sending in a drone, but this drone happens to be a human, an otherwise good human, maybe a church-going human. And it's just going to be more and more of that.